There is a call for tighter gun control in Russia after a gunman opened fire in a school, killing at least 9 people today, including 7 children. It happened in Kazan, about 500 miles east of Moscow. Officials say a teacher and another school worker are also among the dead. Authorities say at least 21 other people were hospitalized, and the gunman is in custody. Russian media reports some students were trapped inside during the attack, but all have since been evacuated and are back with their families. Joining us now to talk more about this is CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab. Imtiaz, welcome. Great to see you. What more do we know about this attack and the suspect?
Hey, Tanya, good to talk to you. Well, what we know is that the gunman opened fire on the school in the middle of the day and sent students running out of the building as smoke poured from one of the windows. Now, as well as the fatalities, around 21 others were hospitalized, with at least 6 in extremely grave condition. The attacker was identified only as a 19-year-old and is in police custody. Now, police also gave no immediate details on a motive, but Russian media reports say the gunman was a former student at the school who called himself a, quote, god on his Telegram messaging app account and promised to, again, a quote here, kill a large amount of biomass on the morning of the shooting. But again, no motive has been made public yet as to why the alleged shooter would attack a classroom full of 8th graders and, of course, causing an awful lot of shock.
And Imtiaz, as you know, school shootings are relatively rare in Russia, although one of the all-time worst school shootings ever did happen in Russia. How have people been reacting to this particular school shooting?
For sure. Absolutely. A whole huge amount of shock, horror, and disbelief. But yeah, as you say, school shootings are relatively rare in that part of the world. The shooting you mentioned in 2018 was in the Crimea region, which of course was annexed by Russia not long before the shooting. Not long before the shooting is known in Kerch. This is a polytechnic college. It was a massacre. We understand that a gun and bomb attack that happened in that city. An 18-year-old student by the name of Vladislav Roslyakov. It was the one who was accused of opening fire and killing 20 people and wounding 70 others before committing suicide. That attack, of course, was the greatest loss of life in school violence in the former Soviet Union since, as you mentioned, the Beslan school siege. Now, that school siege shooting back in 2004 lasted over 3 days, where over 1,100 people were held hostage. 777 of them were children. And when the siege finally ended, 334 people were left dead. Over half of them were children. The Beslan massacre is thought to be the deadliest school shooting in modern history. Tanya.
And Imtiaz, any word on what the Kremlin is doing to prevent this from happening again? What reaction has there been from the Kremlin?
Well, President Vladimir Putin has extended his condolences to the families of the victims and ordered the government to give them, quote, all the necessary assistance that they need, while also promising to look at tougher gun controls. Russian officials have also promised to pay the affected families around 1 million rubles, which is roughly $13,000 each, and give around 2,000 to 400,000 rubles, which is around $3,000 to $5,000 to those who are wounded. But that, of course, is very small comfort to those who have lost loved ones and certainly have suffered injuries at this terrible shooting attack, which again resulted in the deaths of at least 8 people, a number of them 8th graders.
So sad. Imtiaz Tyab, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.